Hey everyone, this is my Patreon proud reaction to the 5th episode of World Trigger. So, in the last episode, Hitora was showing just how salty she is about Osamu Mikumo getting as much attention and praise as he was. And, Yuma calling her out for that. And then we get attacked by a giant creature while she's trying to escort us to the border, the headquarters. And now we're having to deal with that. Hitora doing her best, but we'll probably need a little bit of help from Yuma to really take it down. But that's kind of what I'm thinking here. But the plan is to take it down and have it fall in the water so it doesn't destroy a bunch of things and kill people as it falls to the ground. So that's kind of our general strategy. So I guess we'll see how that goes in this episode. So let's get into it. Okay. 3, 2, 1, play. Ooh, okay. And yeah, Kitora apparently likes attention because she was really getting into all the pictures and stuff being taken of her. She's a part of the famous celebrity border agent group, after all. Arashiyama squad. I keep wanting to call it Arashiyama Tai because that's the full Japanese thing, and that's what they say. But yeah, recapping. I mean, just look at how small that thing is and how thick that thing's skin would be. That would not be easy to do anything with. I think it might be doing something, maybe. What, it fallen? Or does that have some sort of secondary defense thing? Like self-destructing? Or spawning little mini ones of itself? Either way, it doesn't look good. Oh well, I guess I'll save her life because, Mikumo asked me to. But yeah, I assume those things that popped out are gonna blow up. In the new world. I hope it never changes the opening, because I don't think they'll ever get anything better than this. No one's impressed by your giant cube, Chia. What was her name? I want to say it was Chia. She hasn't had much screen time, okay? But I can't wait till she joins Border and gets that sniper rifle. I mean, this might be like top 5 openings ever. And she is cute. I mean, because clearly they're gonna all become a squad, because they're showing together a lot in the opening. Changes the new world. And someone really does like their cubes. Episode title: Power Elite Juichi Jin, which I think was the leader of Arashiyama squad. But yeah, this is not good. Do you realize you're in trouble? Yeah, it's not the water. That's not the water. Is it plan on actually deliberately doing as much damage as he can before he's taken down? Okay. So it has pretty good AI, all things considered. That's gonna be tricky. Oh, okay, so it's worse than thought. Okay, that's a problem. So what do we do? Yeah, I don't know how we're supposed to help then. Okay. Can you do that? I mean, I don't know how close it is to the water right now. Yeah. She figured it out. Yeah, Mikumo's doing his best down there because he can't really deal with the monster itself. Okay, so literally it's a chain, okay. Busto! Can he really pull that huge thing down? That would take a lot of strength. I guess he can, though. What do I know? Okay, so he's pretty close to the water. Okay, good job, team. Good job, Yuma. You are the real hero here. We'll let Kitora feel like she's accomplished something. I mean, she did help, but she's gonna think she did all of it. Yeah, he's not trying to help you or anything. He's just clearly trying to inflate his ego. That's clearly what he's doing. Yeah, of course I know who she is. Did Mikumo just blow your mind, Kitora? Yes, as usual, you tell her, Yuma. Yes. He's not, he's the protagonist. I'd almost not patronize it. You feed that fish all by yourself. Yeah, somebody. I wonder who that could have been. I don't know. Didn't see him. Okay, well that's good. So you're not all bad. And here we go. Getting some One Punch Man flashbacks now. If you have any problems, talk to my trigger. Besides, you're the one that willingly lives in a war zone, you know. You're kind of limited on how much of a right you have to complain. Of course, Mikumo doesn't know much about about this whole thing, so he wasn't in a position to really say anything anyway. No, it's not the end. It's like episode 5 of a 10,000 episode show. Indeed. Yes. Man, that fortress is so cool. I really don't see how they could break into there, but I'm sure they'll try at some point. Maybe they'll have some specialty Treon soldiers that are specifically meant for reaching it. I mean, could they open a gate like inside of it? Would they be able to do that? I mean, they probably have to get a little one inside somehow to make that happen. Okay, so there is S ranks. Okay. The pyramid didn't show them though. I guess there's just like maybe single digit number of them. Makes sense. But yeah, if he's S rank, maybe that's why he has a black cube. Maybe that is the color of super high density Treon or something. Like maybe his little black cube is better than Chia, whatever her name was, his big one. Because it's more dense. I don't know. I'm just. That's all we can hope for, really, right? It's just such a big place. I feel so safe in there. Wow. He's so excited. He's clearly popular. I mean, he's a leader of the most popular team, so... Okay, maybe he's not popular with everyone. I'm not gonna remember all these names, though. uh, I'm sure it's related to Mikumo. Yes. So far he's the only S rank we know about. I want to see him fight at some point. And there's his trigger. It actually is black and green. Cool. Definitely a very unique trigger. Well, like an elite trigger. My box! Give it back! I need that! This thing is getting too close to a beautiful girl. Wow, man. But please give me my box back. Yes. He seems like a flirt in general. Pretty impressive. I'm sure Yuma could do the same. Yeah, Mikuma's already here. I'm sure he does, he just... I mean, you saved his siblings, he wouldn't not remember you. Ito. More names I'm not going to remember, but... Yoko. Can I tell I'm gonna like him? Sarcasm. Twice, did you hear me? PR director. Well, unless you can stop neighbors from attacking randomly, then they will hate you. That's a bigger concern than this is, trust me. Yeah, you're a really nice guy, aren't you? Oh, a voice of reason? This is hard to believe. You don't understand. He broke a rule that's far more important than, saving people. Oh, wow. I'm actually a bit surprised. I guess we are starting to see the Dare. Yes, because nobody else was there. You tell him, man. I bet he didn't come into this room expecting a promotion. uh, but, yes, rules are absolute. That's gonna be difficult to answer. Because it's hard to say whether or not he would... which answer he would like. I mean, considering what I said before, he... a lot of dramatic build-up for this. I'm sure Mikumo's gonna say that he would do it again. I know Mikumo well enough to know that he would not, deliberately fail to save people if he could. So it's obvious what he's gonna say. So probably not worth the dramatic build-up. Okay. After about 5 minutes of build-up, he finally got his answer. Like, man, did they really linger on that. You can tell this is a long-form anime. That is Mikumo's character, yeah. Yeah, that is a little bit more important. I'm with you on that. Considering that can cost people a lot of lives if you don't figure out something, a way to dealing with it. Which would be higher, if it wasn't for Mikumo. Yes, it's all about the money, isn't it? Oh no, not the sponsors. We must do something. Well, at least that's something. I mean, he's an S rank, so probably. Oh. He's taking a liking to him. You can feel that plot armor. I mean, side effects. Side effect of what? Your trigger? I mean, we already kind of established that black triggers have special powers because, well, Yuma has the replica, as well as his lie detection powers. More to the point. But I mean, Mikuma's only involved with Yuma, which doesn't really have much to do with the whole random gate thing. But I guess it all connects somehow. I guess is the point. Yeah, he does remember you. Like, don't touch me. If it was an S rank, you probably wouldn't allow him to touch his shoulder like that. Was it Mikumo? Yep, that was Mikumo. Man, Gene is a smart man. Pretty cool guy. Yeah, you can't exactly, fire somebody that's so good for PR. Yes, I am thoroughly impressed. You definitely are a people person. So far we have 2 block trigger users, Jean and Yuma. I assume we'll get more. A rank. He's probably important too. No, I never even heard of it. Yeah, I never met them before in my life. I guess this guy's pretty smart too if he was able to put all that together. Because, yeah, that would be another neighbor Trio soldier that wasn't dealt with by an official agent, so it's not that hard to figure out. And slide open. I love sliding open doors. I love doors that can slide open by themselves, I should say. So, that's another A-rank team. So we have Arashiyama and then his team as the A-ranks that we know so far. Yeah. Yeah, because that one, that's when Yuma did it with just his normal trigger. Yep. That's why I wanted an answer from him. Because he could figure whether or not he was involved by it. Miwa. So yeah, he knows something's up here. I guess you could kind of put pieces together there and assume he's working together with a neighbor. But it's not the only possibility, so... I'm sure at least the higher-ups know that neighbors are regular people like them. Maybe the low-rank soldiers don't, but... yeah, as it shows Yuma just being silly walking down the street eating. Because I didn't get expelled, fired, whatever. Oh yeah, that too. I got the gist of it, at least some of them. When you become a big shot, has a lot of confidence in him. uh, wow, Jane. Chica, that's what it was, Chica. So she meets Yuma, cool. I'm sure they get along well enough. That might be what triggers her to join Border, probably. I'm glad she's finally gonna get some focus. So yeah, that was the 5th episode of World Trigger. And we were able to finish off the large Trion soldier flying in the sky. Now, Kitora wasn't able to take it down just by herself. I mean, she kind of was, but if he wanted to avoid a lot of damage, then Yuma kind of needed to help, and he did so. He just shot it up, grabbed it, and pulled it into the water. I guess it was that easy. I kind of expected it to be a bit more difficult than that, but, you know, this is Yuma we're talking about. But yeah, apparently the Trion soldiers do have some degree of intelligence, because it was going to, when it knew it was basically dead, it was trying to prioritize the maximum amount of damage it could do. So yeah, the neighbors are pretty dangerous with some of these Trion soldiers. And yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to when we actually get neighbors like with just with regular triggers coming through the gate, and not just sending Trion soldiers. Like maybe we'll have see an episode where, like maybe a whole arc where we have just neighbors come through with triggers and Trion soldiers, like just a big, you know, assault basically. That would be pretty cool if we could do that. I feel like that's likely because we have a lot of characters in this show, a lot of border agents and individual squads. So they've definitely had the series set up pretty nicely for some sort of large scale war, you know, battle. So between multiple neighbor squads, if they have squads, and multiple border squads. Like, I think that would be pretty cool if we could get into that. That could also be something we get about halfway through the series. That'd be pretty cool. Give us a chance to see pretty much every halfway important character, getting to see them fight, their fighting style and stuff like that. So that'd be a really cool way to show that off. So I do hope we kind of get something like that at some point. In addition to my hopes that we go through the gate, like maybe they'll attack, and then we take that as an opportunity to do some counter damage once we defeat their frontal attack. Like maybe that'll be why we end up going to the gate, because it's just a good opportunity to do so. Or they succeed in kidnapping someone, then take them with them. Then we have to go and get them back. Either or. But yeah, I do think that's gonna happen at some point. But yes, this episode, after we dealt with the Trion soldier, it was time to deal with Mikumo's punishment. And so he was sitting in the room with all the higher-ups, having their meeting about what they would do. And then Gene was on his way to the same meeting, and apparently just everyone just loves him. He's just a real smooth talker, a real people person, an S-rank agent with a black trigger. So that's pretty cool. And apparently he has something called a side effect. So I think I was right about the black triggers having some sort of unique special ability. And his side effect, it didn't actually explain exactly what that was, but I guess what it is like, what's a good way to put it? Like, I guess he can kind of see maybe, he can see if something connects to other things in the future, I guess was what it is. I mean, I'm having trouble putting it into words, but it's something like that, where you can see what kind of role something or someone plays in a more grand scheme of things later on. Something like that. I don't know. It's got a weird name though, side effect. Like, I don't know. That's just kind of what I'm getting at now. But anyway, when he mentioned the meeting, things went better because he was there, because he wants Mikumo to stick around. He sees potential in him because of a side effect. And obviously he saved his siblings before, so he probably owes himself something for that as well. And also you had Kitora, who surprisingly enough kind of vouched for Mikumo, despite what she was saying earlier and all that. So I guess she's kind of a, I guess you could say firm but fair type character. Or she just, or Mikumo's, or Yuma, I guess more to the point, his words kind of got through to her after a while, and she's like, okay, I guess it wasn't that bad. Mikumo's a good guy, I don't want him to get fired or anything, I guess I'll vouch for him. I guess that could have been it too, I guess it's a bit up for interpretation. But the gist of it is, Kitora's not that bad of a person, not as bad as she may have come across as at first, because we kind of saw the worst of her there, so going forward, I think we'll get to see more and more of her good points, and probably some of the bad ones as well, but, good points as well, so, yeah, she seems nice enough deep down. And yeah, everyone just kind of said their piece in the meeting about, hey, we can't have this rule breaker running around. It's bad for our image. Let's fire him and all that. Then you have the one guy that's like, no. I mean, he saved people. That's a pretty good thing. There was no other agent there, and if he wasn't there fighting, people would die. Like, he was trying to raise some good points to the other people, because it did not seem like very many people were on his side. So yeah, luckily at least one of them were. That's definitely good. Now the one guy, like, the big boss man there, he actually had a scar like on his face, so I guess he used to be a border agent back in the day. He was probably pretty good. I would assume at least A rank back in the day, maybe S rank, but at least A rank. So yeah, usually when someone has a scar in anime, you can assume they've seen a lot of action and combat back in the day. So yeah, he was pretty good back in his day, a couple decades ago. But Gene is just really good at dealing with people, like, and he had the video footage on his phone to show them, like, hey, see all the love and praise Mikumo's getting? Do you really want to, punish this guy? This guy is pretty good for PR, I know you really don't want people that hate, Border, so it'd probably be a good idea to keep him on board and, let him help out with the PR, because he is a very good person, very naive sense of justice. He's the kind of character you want at least one of in your senior team for PR reasons and all that, so you really don't want to get rid of him, so... Gene was doing a pretty good job of really talking to all of them individually on their level, on what, how they needed to be talked to get his point across. So, yeah, he was very good at that. I can see why he's the leader of the most popular, the border group. So, yeah, he's a pretty cool guy. I like him a lot. Of course, not as much as Yuma. I don't think anyone's going to pass Yuma as my favorite character, but he's definitely a pretty cool guy. Mikumo was kind of worried at first about him not remembering him, which was kind of cute, but... yeah, it turns out, no, he does remember him. I always thought he would remember him. He was the one that saved his siblings at their school, after all. He wouldn't just forget them. Not a cool guy like Gene. That's so good at dealing with people. That was really never much of a concern. However, what is a concern is the whole gates appearing randomly without having any way of knowing, where they're going to appear. Because that's a bit of a problem. Most of the the entire reason why people, well, two big reasons why not everyone has moved away. One, you have border to deal with the neighbors and the gates and stuff. And two, the gates are controlled where they can appear. Those two kind of things combined is the reason why people are staying around in this war zone. If you take one of those two things away, it becomes a lot more dangerous and people will move away. Because it was a very important scene before when you had the high schoolers talk about, oh yeah, I guess we're in a war zone too. I just kind of forgot because it's just so peaceful. Because the border takes care of everything. We're not in any real danger. You know, that really did say a lot world building wise about exactly the mentality of the average person in the city. But that all goes out the window if they can't control where the gates appear, because there will be casualties most of the time that gates appear, because you can't have border agents appear fast enough to avoid that. There will almost always be some sort of casualty, whether it's just injuries or broken buildings or death. There will be some sort of collateral damage if you don't get there quickly, which most of the time they won't unless you're just lucky. But yeah, so that really changes the game a lot with this, so they need to figure out a way to deal with that. They said something about having some mechanic for temporarily disabling gates from appearing for 48 hours or something like that, so that gives them some time to figure something out, but they need to figure something out. They kind of put Gene on the job to kind of investigate this, so we'll see if he can do anything there. And I do want to see Gene fight. He has a black trigger, so in his S rank, so definitely interested in see exactly what he can do there. They already talked about some of his accomplishments before with the one girl, saying about how many neighbors he took down by himself and all that. So yeah, he's pretty good, I'm sure. And yeah, that was pretty much the episode. Mikamo got out of that pretty well. My biggest criticism of this episode is probably just the sheer amount of time they spent on building up that question, and Mikumo's like, would you do the same thing again given the circumstances or whatever he said? And he just had slowly showing the faces of every single member in that room, one by one by one by one, and finally showing Mikumo, and then he builds it up even more, saying, well, I guess maybe if I did, well, and then more long dramatic pauses, and then he finally gave the answer that everyone knew that he would give. It was just, why would you do that? I mean, I guess that's just one of those scenes where it probably seemed like a good idea at the time, but it really did not deserve that much build-up, like, at all. That's probably my biggest concern, biggest criticism with the episode. Aside from that, it was a pretty solid episode. And yeah, they're really on to Mikumo and Yuma, because the one neighbor that they dealt with before, that was killed by Yuma and his trigger. That was before they started to be more careful, because Mikumo didn't even know that Yuma was a neighbor or anything like that, so he couldn't really give Yuma any advice before then. So that was kind of more of a reckless sort of thing. Not like the situation at the school where Yuma was very careful to deal with it in a way that really minimized suspicion. You know, using Mikumo's training trigger and all that. So yeah, that's why Mia, the 1A rank, probably the leader of his A rank group, he asked Yuma the question, hey, that one Trion soldier before, did you deal with that too? Because, you know, there wasn't an official border agent that took care of it, so was that you too? I mean, it was your high school schoolmates that were there, so that was you too, right? It's like, yes, that totally was. But it was kind of a loaded trick sort of question, because he knows that Mikumo didn't do it. He knows that for a fact before he even asked the question. But what's important here is what answer Mikumo gave. And since Mikumo did say that, he's obviously hiding something because it was a lie. You wouldn't lie for no reason. So all the pieces together, putting together the puzzle, he knows that likely Mikumo is working together with the person that did it. The person that did it most likely being a neighbor, because it was an unregistered trigger. So yeah, now Mia is probably our biggest antagonist right now. He's really definitely worrying about what exactly Mikumo's deal is, because he's very sketchy right now. They don't know what his motivation is, what he's trying to accomplish, what he knows, what his secrets are. So he wants to get to the bottom of all that. I don't know what methods he'll use to do so. Probably some pretty heavy-handed methods, probably a bit violence. I don't know. I don't really know, but he's our biggest concern right now. Also, the head honcho there, he's obviously has a very negative opinion of neighbors, so if he finds out about Yuma, who knows what would happen there. Probably an execution, at worst, at best, being deported into the gate, but probably not. So that's our big concern. We might get it. Well, we probably won't get into that next episode, because the preview already said that next episode we'll be dealing with Chika. Yeah, Chika, I think is her name. I don't know why I'm struggling with such a short name. But Chika, she's apparently going to get into some trouble, and she'll get some bonding time with Yuma. That's cool, because Chika is Mikumo's little sister, so it'd be nice if she could get along with Yuma. because Yuma and Mikamo are best friends. So that'd be great. And this will probably be why Chika decides to join Border, because you know she does because of the opening. She has her, not only does she has her sniper rifle, she has a huge cube, so she clearly has a lot of potential to be a Border agent. A huge amount of Treon. Maybe not as much Treon as someone like Jin, because my assumption is the black Treon means that it's denser, because if it wasn't black, it would probably be bigger than Chica's, but it's probably, once it gets to a certain point, it probably just, you know, goes black and gets smaller again to make it more dense and concentrated. That's my theory, at least, so he probably has more Treon than Chica does, but Chica's more of a, you know, a shower. But yeah, that was the last episode of this episode. It was pretty good for the most part, and I look forward to the next one. Thank you for watching, and thank you Cnouki, as well as everyone else, for doing what you can to support the channel. It means a lot to me, and I hope we can continue to grow the channel together. If you want to do more to support the channel, then you can become a patron on my Patreon and get cool rewards like early access to certain videos. Have a good one.